let's kind of start simple and let's talk about what IFF is in the first place. And then let's talk about the MX-12B and what that brings to the fight. So let's go IFF first.
Okay, sure. So IFF was originally, I won't go through the detailed history, right? But basically, the Brits in World War II needed a way to differentiate between their adversary, the Germans, coming to bomb them, and their boys coming home, right? So they invented what has now become modern IFF, identify friend or foe. But modern IFF is essentially an encrypted version of normal air traffic control transponder solutions. So a normal air traffic control, we have things called mode A, mode C, mode S, and mode S has a lot of potential information where an air traffic controller, so LA Center, can interrogate an aircraft that it just sees as a blip on its radar and can get back information regarding its call sign, its pressure, altitude, its latitude, longitude, direction, all the kind of things that the air traffic controller needs to control that aircraft and protect the airspace. Take that same information and encrypt it. And now, basically, by me as an aircraft with IFF recognizing an interrogation and responding, I'm not only giving that same type of air traffic information back to the interrogator, but I'm confirming that I'm friendly. So this technology is very closely held. It is available to US, to NATO, and then other specific allies around the world. And each and every time we go to export one, we have to get an export license specific for that customer, specific for that end use, because it's very tightly controlled. So now when a Patriot missile battery or a ship or an F-15 or an F-35 interrogates another aircraft, they get back the little green light that says it's friendly, they don't shoot them down. And that's kind of IFF in a nutshell, if you will. The interrogation, recognize the interrogation and respond properly, therefore I'm friendly.
Encrypted at a military level, closely held.
Yep.
So explain then how the MX-12B came on the scene and, the implications of that particular product.
Sure. Well, Sagetech for years, and you and I were joking earlier, I'm now over 10 years with Sagetech. The most recent version is Sagetech Avionics, which is a little over 5 years, where we narrowed our focus to the things that we felt were important. But more than 10 years ago, really about 14 years ago, Sagetech started selling very small transponders that were not certified, but essentially did the same thing as normal commercial civil transponders did with modes A, C, and S. And those were used very, very frequently by drone OEMs that were either selling to or flying on behalf of the US DoD in different places like Iraq and Afghanistan, et cetera. And that was done to ensure that there was to maintain air traffic control, right? I've got a drone coming home and I've got a KC-135 in the pattern. I don't want them to hit each other.
Right.
Mode 5 was something that had been developed, but by 2020, it was now mandated across NATO that we switch from the old version of IFF, Mode 4, which was around since back when I flew many decades ago, right? Or a few decades ago. And Mode 5 we knew was coming along, and we knew that drones were going to continue to be a major part of warfare and aerospace in particular. So we started a long time ago working on taking what's typically the size of a cinder block and 10 pounds or so, and shrinking it down while still maintaining the same capabilities. So the MX-12B actually was the result of that. So we took a very robust platform. I like to say our engineers bend the rules of physics. They maybe don't break them, but they stress them quite a bit to see what they could do about a very highly amplified transmission that is required right next to a super sensitive receiver, and then doing all this magic in a box the size of a deck of cards that weighs about 1/3 of a pound. We got that certified in 2021. And that was the first, as you mentioned, first quote micro IFF, which is what the military will typically term it. It's the same IFF, but in a micro form factor. So at that time, we were compared to I think the quote reduced size transponders the military had from legacy providers was around 7 pounds. And then ours comes in at a third of a pound. And obviously you can fit, I think, 10 of them inside that, that legacy box.